A British man's life was, quote, destroyed after converting from Islam to Christianity. It is a harrowing case. Nissar Hussain says he was excommunicated and persecuted, violently targeted, threatened and attacked for years, and consequently developed PTSD. Now he's warning Britain and the West about what he says authorities are too afraid to confront. We're now joined by that Christian convert, Nissar Hussain. Thank you so much for joining me this evening, for being so brave to come on our show. Well, perhaps it would be helpful for our audience to understand what you've gone through from your own words, Nissar.
Obviously, time won't allow me to, to quantify in 20 years what myself. And can I make a strong point, Alex? I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my wife and my amazing 6 children. Who have all suffered equally. So I want to really pay homage to them, actually. But yeah, in essence, I settled in Bradford, and from the point of conversion in 1996, our lives have been made an utter misery. It's been acts of terrorism and one of just a destruction of our lives, our property, hounded from one property to the next, over a 20-year period. And the last 9 years, after we were vacated by armed police, we had to vacate, and we've been living under police protection for the last 9 years, for no other reason than leaving Islam and actually embracing the Christian faith.
Nissar, it's harrowing hearing you. I'm sorry, I'm sort of speechless actually hearing this. It's really shocking. Where did this happen, Nissar?
This happened in Bradford, and I'd like to say that it culminated in a very brutal attack on me in November of 2015. I ended up being kneecapped and suffered a broken hand trying to protect my head from being bludgeoned in. And thank goodness, 2 Polish angels came, 2 men came to my aid and saw these cowardly thugs off. This was reported to the police that an attack on me was imminent. And the catalyst was a Pakistani Muslim clan family some doors away. So bear in mind, we'd already moved, actually, after similar scenarios, car torchings, car rammings, drive-by brickings, hostility as soon as we left our house. We were under siege day in, day out. And the Bradford police, the appalling Bradford police, stood by, signed my death warrant and allowed this to happen.
Nissar, have you managed to secure any justice for what happened to you?
No, sir, I haven't secured any justice as yet. I'm currently in the States, So I've been supported to come over here by the Save the Christian Persecution organisation, who found out about my story 3 weeks ago or so. And I'm here, actually, in the safety and protection of these amazing American people who are also waking up to the threat of Sharia on their doorstep. And so I'm sharing my story. And I would like to say, actually, Sharia has no place in Western civilization in the 21st century.
There's nothing more important than keeping your money and your identity safe online. And with so many VPN options available, choosing the right one can be pretty daunting. But this video's sponsor, ExpressVPN, is making the choice easier for GB News viewers. ExpressVPN is offering up to 75% off, plus 4 extra months free. That's top-level security from just £2.49 a month, and you're covered by their 30-day money-back guarantee. So just click the link in this video's description or scan the QR code now. Remember, when you're online, you are often sharing personal data, so hackers can steal your information, your passwords, your photos, and your bank details in just seconds. But ExpressVPN encrypts your connection, making it virtually impossible for hackers to access your personal information. So why choose ExpressVPN? Well, it couldn't be easier to use. With just one click, you are protected. And ExpressVPN uses military-grade AES 256 encryption, which is the same standard trusted by the US government to guard their classified information. With their new tiered plans, you can protect up to 14 devices at once and manage passwords securely. live chat support is available 24/7, and it typically connects you in under a minute with a real person. Click the link in this video's description or scan the QR code to get up to 75% off ExpressVPN, plus 4 months extra for free. Start protecting yourself today with ExpressVPN.
Nissar, what's your experience of Sharia in the UK? Do you think there's a real issue here? We have many conversations about it here on GB News. We're very open about having these discussions, but politicians play it down, police play it down, authorities play it down. Is there something we should be worried about?
You should be totally worried as a British-born who loves his country. In fact, Britain doesn't deserve myself and my family, having been failed the way we have been failed, willfully by police, by 4 bishops of Bradford, including Justin Welby, who I appealed to 15 months prior to my attack, who dismissed me with contempt. No doubt on the altar of interfaith, ecumenism, multi-faith dialogue, Muslim friendship. These are all wonderful things. But actually, not only that, I've been failed by politicians. George Galloway was my MP at the time, the appalling Naz Shah. I've also had a meeting with Liz Truss as a cabinet minister, who actually, after the first initial meeting, went away and then she was uncontactable. Sajid Javid, actually, as the Home Secretary at the time, also dismissed me. And I can tell you story after story after story of failure on multiple fronts.
Yeah, it's absolutely harrowing.
We're living as eternally displaced people. We were escorted out a year after my attack. It took me 7 months to get back on my feet. And actually, 10 armed police officers came almost crashing through the front door and the rear gate, telling me that they couldn't leave us out of their sight because of their intelligence to suggest our lives were in imminent danger. And on that day, in November of 2016, I left Bradford. I didn't want to go into the safe house because of the failure of Bradford police and the mistrust I had, the deep mistrust. They've signed my death warrant. I'll repeat again, and I don't mind saying it over and again. It's a total failure. It's a failed state. Okay, why? Terrified of being labelled as Islamophobic, as racist. That doesn't give anybody the right and the cause to allow us to have suffered in the manner that we did.
Nissar, is there any circumstances in which you'd feel safe to return to Britain? And if so, what would those be? I'm at this moment in time, I'm considering America. Okay, I'm also looking at the apostasy. We have a campaign to actually highlight. It's a genocide case, so we are looking to take 11 Muslim nations to the courts because of their draconian death sentence for those of us who leave Islam. Okay, and so yes, to answer your question again, we need a radical shake-up of government. This current government is an appalling waste of time. They care little for those like me. Shabana Mahmood, I would love to ask her, under Sharia law, because all Muslims are mandated to believe in Sharia, we're as apostates, we have to be killed. Does she want me dead? That's what I would love to ask Shabana Mahmood. Does she want me dead? Nissar,
and other Muslims, MPs as well.
Nissar, I guess, what do you think needs to fix in Britain in order for you to feel safe to come back here? And what do you think needs to be fixed about Britain in order to ensure Sharia
needs to be fixed. There needs to be a reform of Sharia. Okay, it's a cardinal sin, and it needs to go. It needs a reform.
Nissar, you are an exceptionally brave man. My audience is writing in saying, bless you for speaking out. Please stay safe. You're welcome here on GB News anytime you like. And our thoughts are with you and your family. And we hope you find a safe haven as soon as you can, Nissar. Nissar Hussain, Christian convert there. Thank you so much for being so brave to come on GB News this evening. A West Yorkshire police spokesman previously said hate crime would not be tolerated. They said our priority has always been to work effectively with our partners to minimise the risk to Mr Hussain and ensure that we maximise opportunities to put control measures in place to safeguard him, his family and consider any wider impact upon the communities across West Yorkshire. We're disappointed that Mr Hussain and his family have decided to leave Bradford, particularly as police and partners have been working together for some time to try and resolve the situation to the benefit of all parties concerned. The spokesman continued, police and partners would like to stress that there are a number of other people living in Bradford district who have not experienced any issues based on their faith conversion to another faith or choosing not to have a faith. It's worth saying, mentioned politicians including Shabana Mood, Liz Truss, George Galloway and Sajid Javid are not here to defend themselves, of course. GB News has not verified claims which might be disputed.